Here's a question. If Jason Bourne can disarm an assassin with a rolled-up magazine, if the Joker can dispatch a mobster with a pencil, and if Oddjob can behead a statue with his hat, is it possible to use the weapons that we take with us onto the golf course, our clubs, to tackle certain situations in slightly unusual ways? Now, my answer is yes. So let's venture out there and explore some ways of adapting our technique to play some unconventional shots.
So in this situation here, I can't really putt because the grass here is a little bit long. It's the longer version of the fringe, the shorter version is ahead of me. So I'm going to chip with a 56, but I'm going to try in two different ways. So the first way will be high. I'm going to have a go at that Dan Grieve technique, which I've showed on a previous video, where you have the club face very open and you cut across it with relatively little wrist action, and it should go high and stop quickly. Or I'll do a running shot with the same club but different setup. So let's try the Grieve one. So club face way open, standing very sort of upright, toe on the ground of the club face, cut across. Stops very, very quickly. So we'll have another go now with the same club from the same position, but with a very different ball flight. Different setup, hands ahead, club face a bit closed, back in the stance, and just let it roll to the hole with a lower flight. And again, a fairly similar outcome. Now, this is not normally one that you would play in the winter, but I'm using a 3-wood, a little bit like a putter. But the fringe here is cut quite tight, so it might be okay. And I'm going to play it like a putter, but use the power of the 3-wood to get the ball up and over the slope. And that's a nice result. That's about 12 inches away. So that one works even in the winter. So this is a situation you may occasionally find yourself in. If you're a right-handed player, then you're a bit stuck because you're going to have to put your feet in the bunker, which may be very difficult. You know, you may end up sort of holding the club shaft down here because you're so below the level of the ball. If you're a left-hander, it's easy. So let's become a left-hander by turning the club over this way around. So it's usually worth occasionally practicing this in case you need to use it, because you don't really want this to be the first time you've ever tried it. But let's give it a go. I've got a 9-iron turned upside down. I'm using a normal grip. And that wasn't too bad. I'd be quite happy with that. So we'll try one more adaptation shot, and that's that I'm using a 5-iron here when I really should be having nothing to do with a 5-iron, from a greenside bunker. So you would normally use a sand wedge, a 60 degree maybe, but I'm going to try and adapt the club. It hasn't got the bounce that the 60 degree has got on it, so you've got to really open the club face, slice across it, hope for the best. Not bad. You do need soft sand for this. If it's hard sand, you know, after it's been raining, the sand gets compacted. That's a very difficult shot to play, but that wasn't too bad. If you look at the direction of the swing as well, that's the line of the divot going in this direction, which you can see is way across the line. But that's what you need to do with the open club face, is to compensate for that, and then the thing hopefully goes straight. So there we go, just a few examples of how we can adapt the clubs that we have. So, I mean, who needs 14 clubs? Maybe we can get by with 5 or 6. because it is possible, as I've shown you, to change the way the club performs based on the way you set up and the way you visualize the shot. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Do subscribe, and we'll see you next time.